Okay, everybody. Now, as I've talked about, I like to study things. That's what you do when you get serious until you get an answer. When you get an answer, you don't need to study anymore, right? I've pretty much got my own answers, but I also, in the field I'm going to, spiritual and God and all that, you need to prove things to really make that area happen, as I've talked about in a lot of areas. And so I just talked about my prayer, and my prayer is about how to really get serious in this field about abuse and abuse on me and abuse on others and all that kind of stuff. And how God talked about that people don't even see what they're doing. Because I've been talking about that a lot. That they don't even see. The devil gets in them and you go automatic. Have you ever gone automatic mode when you're driving and stuff like that? And you go, what am I doing over here? It's an automatic mode, but the devil can tap into it. And you think it's you, but then when you have an argument and you talk about it, which is what I'm about to talk about now, you might realize, why did I do that? And that could be a devil factor. It's something I'm studying about. You don't even know what you're doing. You need to look yourself in the mirror. We need to have a conversation because one of us is wrong. And if you walk away and you then that's the devil wanting us to fight. That's what it's all about with the Adam and Eve, everybody, okay? And so I want to talk about what just went down now in a conversation of why things go down. And we have conversations because without conversations, we won't know. And the Bible talks about the devil hates it when you do such things, right? He'll try to make things happen, attitudes, all sorts of ways to make sure that the truth doesn't get spoken, which is very odd, right? And so I was just sitting here, just about to watch a movie, right? What's this movie called again?
Show's called From.
From, yeah, it's a very weird, ghostly type of show. And I'm watching the second season now with Emma.
Second or third, somewhere.
Something like that. And just before I started eating and finished to watch this show, I decided to talk about what I'm about to do tomorrow. It was still on my mind. And people who really do know me, and they should, know that I like to get things off my mind. So if you're with me and you're not against me, you would allow me to speak things and have things and go, yeah, that's what he's doing. So, and because you're allowed. But if you don't, and you hear someone talk a lot or just annoying, well, you'll shut them down and you'll say all sorts of things, and they're not really there for you. That's how you find out who's here for you and who's not. They'll go, oh, yeah, that's this damn. Some people are kinder to hang around people who have disability problems than others because of those reasons, right? And so I just thought I'd talk about, tomorrow I wanted to talk about an issue of what I'm going to do about the videos. So I said, when I ring up people and stuff like that, I'm going to dare them now, if they believe it's not true, to come and see what I've got, right? Because I hear a lot of people say a lot of things to me and they don't believe it. And I go, well, here's the proof. I've got the proof. And if you don't believe me, I dare you to come and look, right? And that's what I'll be part of one of the conversations. And I just wanted to mention that. And then someone said, well, if you're going to talk again, I'm not going to watch a movie with you, as I do get interrupted in a lot of things, as I've suffered a lot. And when you suffer a lot, the people around you they don't really know. Definitely the ones that don't really love you or know you. They're more self-love. When you're more self-love, that means, or you got own problems and other things like that, that means you can't love something else. Right? You want to, but you can't because you've got your own problems or you're self-loved and other issues like that. And so when it comes to this, then I went, look, I just wanted to say one thing. Now I feel like I'm attacked once again, which is what I've been talking about for a few years now in all sorts of sectors, that I feel attacked, right? And just me saying something good, the devil coming to me, what I'm going through in my perspective. And I got bullied again. And I've been asking over and over again from the things around me, can you stop just bullying me, right? I don't mean to do these things, but I'm righteous to call that. As far as I'm concerned, it's the things you should do, and no one should say, oh, let's watch a movie, stop talking about child abuse or dealing with it.
I didn't say that.
What did you say then, Emma?
I said, are you still talking or are we going to watch this TV?
That's what I just said.
And if you want to talk still, then I would turn that off and then we'll continue it when you
I understand all that. I just explained that, which is what I was talking. Hey, which is strange, which is what I was talking to the police. Um, and that's what I just said. They didn't. What I just explained is about people around you and your feelings. She doesn't know my feelings. That's what I'm just trying to explain. And she just did something that I just tried to explain to her why I did my action and felt that way. But she believes that I got it wrong because that's what she just said. And I just said, yes, I know that you said that. But do you understand how I feel? And do you, Emma?
Well, yes, you're still talking about the thing, and I understand that that's a frustration and upset thing for you.
Yeah,
I
and
get
so
that.
why would you want to say such a thing when you know that when you want to cut off people, what I call the devil is the devil comes in quick, right? and I've just talked about how they come in quick. I've had this issue constantly where I'm about to stop. I even think about it, and I say again, I'm just going to do this, and then I stop. And when I don't do that, and I do blab, nothing really happens, and we go through that, and then that doesn't get said. But when I think about it, and I go, I'm going to stop, the devil comes in. This is what I talk about here. The devil comes in and wants to cut me off when I know that I'm about to stop. Right? I already know this kind of stuff, and then I have to hear a repeat. It's very annoying, right? And that's why I wanted to have a discussion about it. Every time I go to talk about things, or say, I don't care what breach I've got, you've got a breach, you shouldn't do this and shouldn't do that. Well, I understand what yous would do. Yous will go sue, yous would go do this thing, but that's not me. I've been attacked. I'm hearing the other things that could be attacked from the same things that are attacking me, and everyone doesn't care. They rather sit here and watch a movie. And if you talk about it, they go, oh, we've got to turn it off. They won't. They'll assume. That's assume. I was just going to say one thing. If you don't want to assume, you wait till people talk even more. Wouldn't you, Emma?
Yes, but I wasn't assuming. I was just asking you a question. If you're
Yeah,
going to
but
talk more, I will turn that off.
Yeah, but haven't I already talked about how I believe what comes, how I feel? I just done a thing. And this happens constantly. How every time I say to you, I'll go to do something, here's another one if you want to know more. Every time I go to do righteous, someone says I shouldn't do it. Haven't you been saying that, Emma, on all the moves that I have done?
Yes, because I'm worried.
Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. You coward religion, go hide in your corner. You call yourselves righteous, and all you are cowards, and no wonder you are all suffering. Isn't that sad? And I don't know what to do. The police are the same as Emma. Right? And if I take it out, then I'm the bad guy. No wonder Jesus said what he said to you. Do you understand my point I'm coming across here? Emma should understand, because how many times have I snapped like this when it comes to what I'm trying to do? And I go, what? What's going on? You don't care? You're going to report me and I've got to go to court because I spoke about abuse? Don't you think that's crazy, Emma?
Yes, I don't know if you're going to court, but I guess they can't have you.
If I was a police officer, I would be ashamed to hand that paperwork over, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. That's why I wouldn't be a police officer here. That's just one. Huh? Now, you might not get this conversation because you've got to see more of it. Because I mentioned just then, didn't I, Emma, about more of the conversation. So if you watch my whole, say, YouTube, if you're a fan of mine and you watch it, you would understand this conversation more better, right? And you're spiritual. Isn't that right, Emma? Because I talk about that all the time. Other than that, it can be a bit confusing. It gets like that with Emma all the time. She gets attacking me on the moment, like the Lord does to people. It's just the now. You're not feeling it. You're not knowing what I'm talking about. And if someone's gone through attack, you should leave them like a disability person who's you gotta wipe his ass. Sorry I sound so mean, but that's what this is turning me into. Isn't that sad? I've never been like this in my life since these false attacks. Isn't that right, Emma?
Yes.
And I need to get out of here. This place is sick. And I'm trapped in the sickness of their sick thinking ways. That they can attack single videos. People are sick. Then they believe they can do you? Even sicker. And they fail. Sick people. See you later. And it's microwaved. You know why? It's microwaved because I'm worried about something else got abused the other day. Isn't that right? Right now, I'm doing all this because of that. And I've got no answers except I shouldn't speak about it. Isn't that right, Emma? How would you feel? How would you sound? And you've done it over, and they've done this to you over and over again. And you can't do nothing. You would feel the frustration, wouldn't you? You'd want to send that out. And if you did that and you sent out the energy, you know how people talk about that. And then other people become what God says you don't have to be it, and they become it. Can they come running back to you, right, with this energy and go, I did all this because you felt like doing it. Shit, you better not meditate then. If that's true, Emma? Yeah. Or perhaps this meditation better stop because look, everyone's sending out everything and then it's happening to them. What do you fucking reckon? And see you later. Let me know what you believe, what makes you sick. Let me know. You know what I'll get? I'll get bullshit comments, won't I, Emma? Because you're sick. See you later.